Okay, I'm just gonna come right out of this. Daring Done is the most terrible episode of MLP. Let me explain why. Let me begin with the plot of this. Rainbow Dash found in the local newspaper that Daring Do is retiring from books and adventures. Knowing that Daring Do can never quit that much, she investigates what's the matter. Then she explains that she causes damage throughout her adventures. Wait, what? Let me get this straight. You mean you're retiring because of what happened in Southern Equestria? Wait, what? Are you kidding me? So, Rainbow Dash, trying to restore the honor of Daring Do, goes with her and Pinkie Pie to the village of Sermembula, where they learn the tale of a princess known as the story of Sermembula, which I believe the background story of this is very well done and handled, but the plots are very confusing in this episode. Like, do you not notice the bad guy in the cloak? Really? Why can't you just notice the bad guy in the cloak? He's right there! So Rainbow Dash tries to convince the townspeople that Daring Do was a great person, and yet the obvious bad guy points out that Daring Do was the one responsible for destroying the town statue, and the crowd just went back to booing at Daring Do. Wait, what? If you guys are starting to cheer on her, and yet you guys are starting to boo at her, you can't be wishy-washy. You either like her or you despise her. You can't be both at the same time. And I'm not even gonna begin on how Rainbow Dash just now fight back after being kidnapped and how Daring Do and Pinkie Pie have to find a way to save her life, which we get a backstory about the princess having to solve the Sphinx riddle, and yet the Sphinx casts a spell on the princess of her not flying, but yet in the present day, they can't fly? Wait, what? Okay, no, I'm sorry, nope, I'm sorry. What is going on here? I mean, the Sphinx wasn't there to cast a spell on Daring Do, and yet the spell would not work if the Sphinx wasn't there. So the main group captures the bad guy, makes him get into trouble, and yet Daring Do gets redeemed, and the statue, the historical relic of the town, was replaced? What? You mean to tell me that an historical relic that was supposed to be a contribution to a hero of that town thousands of years ago can be replaced just by buying a new one? Let alone rebuilding it?
You're not making any sense at all.
Even though that the plot of the show was bad, I did like the backstory of how Sermembula was this very kind-hearted princess and gives hope to her people, which I really liked that, And not to mention the fact, I really love how they added Egyptian culture into this episode, which I just really like how they did this in equestrian folklore, which I really hope they get to expand more in equestrian folklore as the series and movies go along. And Pinkie Pie as the side character is pure genius. She's actually the adult in this episode, making sure that Rainbow Dash doesn't go all too fangirl in this episode and trying to make Daring Do have self-confidence again. It actually makes her even more of a character and actually more likable, which I really commend that in this episode. However, that's no excuse on how bad this episode was. Even the title of this episode is very misleading. I actually thought that Daring Do was actually going to quit or actually retire and move on in life, and Rainbow Dash said that there's going to be change, and she has to accept that some of the change will likely affect not just her, but everybody else around her. But, however, even though this episode was another Indiana Jones spin-off episode, but I still think they could have done a little bit better. So I give this episode a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Please do not ever consider of watching this episode unless you want to rip off your Incineroar lobe. I am Ben Maza, may the force be with you all, and have a good day.